The blue and red lights were dancing across my perfectly manicured lawn when the cops rolled up at 11 p.m. "Open up. We have a complaint about illegal surveillance equipment." Melinda Hargrove's voice cut through the night like a chainsaw in a library. She stood there in her signature pastel cardigan, clipboard clutched like a holy relic, pointing at my new smart pool cover as if it were a portal to hell. I stepped onto the porch, calm as a summer breeze. "Officers, it's just a safety cover. But funny thing, it's been recording all night." Her face went pale when I mentioned the timestamps. Because that spy device she hated so much had just caught her red-handed climbing my fence 2 hours earlier. Let me back up before you think this was some random Tuesday meltdown. My name is Alex Rivera. 6 months ago, I moved to Sunnyvale Meadows, the kind of cookie-cutter suburb where every house is beige, every lawn is exactly 2.5 inches tall, and the HOA rules read like a North Korean manifesto written by Martha Stewart. After my divorce, I just wanted quiet, no drama queens, just me, my dog, and a backyard pool that wouldn't cost me my sanity. That dream lasted exactly 3 weeks. One Saturday, I came home from a client meeting to find 3 neighborhood kids splashing in my uncovered pool like it was public property. They'd hopped the fence while I was gone. One kid slipped under for a second too long. I pulled him out coughing, heart pounding, and realized, next time it could be worse. My liability, my nightmare. So I ordered the AquaGuard Pro, top-of-the-line automatic smart pool cover. Silver panels that glide shut on command, AI motion sensors, night vision logs, temperature alerts, everything synced to my phone. Not to spy. To keep kids alive and my insurance company happy. Installation weekend was pure satisfaction. The panels hummed like a well-behaved robot, sealing the water under a seamless metallic blanket. I tested the app, watched the little notification pop, system armed. Motion logging enabled, peace of mind in a box. Monday morning, the neighborhood busybody radar pinged. Melinda Hargrove, HOA president, self-appointed guardian of visual harmony, appeared at my gate before noon, clipboard in one hand, fake smile stretched so tight it could crack walnuts. "Good morning, Mr. Rivera," she sang in that honey-dripped voice that always preceded a knife. "I couldn't help noticing your modification. It's quite industrial, don't you think? Doesn't match our community aesthetic at all." I smiled back, polite as a church usher. "It's a safety upgrade, Mrs. Hargrove. Keeps debris out, kids safe, and my insurance happy. Local codes actually recommend it." She tilted her head like a confused bird. Section 7.2 of our covenants clearly states all backyard improvements must preserve neighborhood character. This looks like something from a sci-fi movie. I'll have to bring it to the board. "By all means," I said, already pulling up the manufacturer's compliance PDF on my phone. "I'll email the full packet, safety certification, noise rating under 30 decibels, even the color match trim option they offered. Happy to discuss at the next meeting." She left with her heels clicking like a countdown timer. That night the app chimed. Motion detected. 3:42 p.m. Single subject. I opened the feed. There she was, leaning over my fence, gloved hand actually touching the edge of the cover, inspecting it like a bomb tech. She stayed 2 full minutes, muttering to herself before gliding away. I saved the clip, labeled it HOA Welcome Committee, and poured myself a beer. Bless her heart. She thought she was protecting the neighborhood from the horrors of a pool that wouldn't drown a kid. The first violation letter arrived 3 days later, folded with military precision, HOA seal gleaming like it was the Pentagon. Unauthorized technology altering visual harmony. I actually laughed out loud reading it. Visual harmony. They made installing a safety device sound like I'd spray-painted graffiti on the Sistine Chapel. The letter demanded removal within 7 days or daily fines of $250. I spent an hour compiling everything: city permits, manufacturer specs, even an article from the National Safety Council praising exactly this model. My reply email was short, sweet, and bulletproof. "Dear Board, attached please find full compliance documentation. Installation meets or exceeds all state and municipal standards. Looking forward to your confirmation." Her reply hit my inbox at 6:17 a.m. The next morning, the timestamp of someone who'd lost sleep over a pool cover. "The board will review whether your interpretation aligns with the community's intent." Translation: We'll move the goalposts until you cry uncle. By Friday, the whispers started. My neighbor Greg suddenly found his mailbox fascinating whenever I walked by. Susan from across the street crossed to the other side of the road. The group chat, usually flooded with complaints about dandelions, went radio silent the moment I typed "Good morning." Melinda didn't need evidence. She just needed people scared enough to believe her version. That Saturday night, the app woke me at 1:13 a.m. Motion alert. High confidence human. I opened the live feed, heart steady. Infrared showed 3 heat signatures. One tall, posture rigid with authority. Melinda. Clipboard in hand, heels somehow silent on grass, flanked by 2 bored lackeys. They weren't stealing. They were verifying compliance. One guy lifted the edge of the cover. Melinda leaned in, phone flash blinking like guilty paparazzi. I watched the entire 4-minute performance, saved every second, backed it up to 3 locations, then went back to bed smiling. Because the woman who spent her life controlling what everyone else could see had just walked straight into my camera's loving embrace. Monday morning, the rumor mill hit overdrive. The weekly HOA newsletter landed in every mailbox with a new community safety reminder, never naming me, but every bullet point described my backyard in loving detail. Recent installations of advanced monitoring equipment may compromise resident privacy. Privacy. The same woman who just trespassed at 1 a.m. was worried about privacy. The irony was so thick you could spread it on toast. My wife Sarah read the paragraph twice and set the paper down like it was radioactive. She's not coming after the pool, Alex. She's coming after you. I shrugged. Let her. Every lie she prints is another page in the file I'm building. That week she tried the direct approach. 3 board members showed up unannounced on Thursday afternoon, clipboards ready, smiles plastic. Melinda led the charge. Just a routine compliance check, Mr. Rivera. Nothing to worry about if you have nothing to hide. I leaned against the doorframe, phone already recording. Routine checks usually come with 48-hour notice. You know that. This is private property. Her smile twitched. If you refuse inspection, we'll have to escalate. Escalate away, I said, holding the phone up so the red light was obvious. Since we're all about transparency, let's document everything. The 2 men behind her suddenly found their shoes fascinating. Melinda's voice dropped into that sugary threat register she'd perfected. You're making this hostile when it doesn't need to be. No, I answered quietly. I'm setting boundaries where you pretend they don't exist. She left in a huff, but not before sending the inspection notice from her phone while still standing on my porch. Paper trail in real time, cute. The next midnight visit was bolder. 2:37 a.m. The app screamed. This time she brought tools, a small flashlight, measuring tape, even a tiny camera. They lifted the cover edge again, whispering about wiring irregularities. Melinda's voice came through crystal clear on the audio. He can't hide behind tech forever. This is enforcement. I saved it all, created a folder called HOA Greatest Hits, and waited. Because people like Melinda don't stop until they're forced to look in the mirror, and my mirror had night vision. The retaliation arrived in waves of envelopes. Daily fines. Aesthetic violation. Unauthorized automation. Potential electronic interference. Each one thicker, each accusation vaguer. Sarah started stacking them like poker chips on the kitchen table. This is harassment. Exactly, I said. And every piece of paper is admissible in court. I scanned, time-stamped, cross-referenced, and backed everything up. Meanwhile, the neighborhood cooled toward us. Kids who used to wave now avoided our fence. Sarah's book club suddenly changed nights. Melinda's empire of fear was working, until the anonymous envelope slid under my door Sunday morning. No return address. Just a flash drive and a handwritten note. She's been doing this for years. Use it. The files were gold. Internal board emails. Frame Rivera for privacy breach. Use the fines to keep them busy. And worse, financials. Tens of thousands siphoned into community safety projects that never existed. Invoices from shell companies. One email from Melinda herself. If anyone asks for receipts, stall. Optics over outcome. I sat at the table for 2 hours reading every word, stomach tight with that cold satisfaction you get when the villain writes their own confession. Sarah watched me. County. Not yet, I said. First, we let her keep digging her hole. 2 days later, the county data privacy team rolled in like the cavalry nobody saw coming. Unmarked vans, navy jackets, clipboards that actually meant something. Melinda spotted them from her driveway and charged like a pastel bull. This is private property. Investigator Ruiz didn't even blink. Ma'am, we're here under state authorization to investigate allegations of unauthorized surveillance and financial misconduct by the Sunnyvale Meadows HOA. Her laugh cracked at the edges. Allegations from who? Ruiz held up the flash drive I'd handed him that morning. From evidence your own board member provided, plus Mr. Rivera's security logs. The audit lasted 4 hours. They marched through the HOA office, seized computers, froze accounts. Melinda stood outside in the sun, pearls gleaming, smile fracturing with every box carried past her. Neighbors gathered on sidewalks, whispering for once not about me, but about her. That evening, the emergency meeting was called. The clubhouse was packed. Melinda took the podium in full armor, blazer, pearls, voice trembling only slightly. There's been misinformation. Ruiz walked in, officers behind him. Ms. Hargrove, you're being served with notice of trespass, fraud, and misuse of association funds. The room went dead silent. I stood up quietly, connected my laptop to the projector. The night vision footage played in 4K glory, Melinda lifting the pool cover, flashlight sweeping, voice crystal clear. This is enforcement. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Someone whispered, "That's her." When the video ended, I looked straight at her. "You said I was spying on the neighborhood. Turns out the only one caught watching was you." Her empire crumbled in real time. Board members stared at the floor. Greg, who'd avoided me for weeks, started slow clapping. Then the whole room joined. Not mocking, just relief. Melinda was escorted out, still sputtering about character assassination. The county froze everything. New elections were scheduled. Every illegal fine was refunded. 3 months later, Sunnyvale Meadows looked the same on the surface. Beige houses, perfect lawns, but the air felt different. People waved again. Kids swam in my pool with permission and signed waivers because transparency works both ways. The new HOA president, quiet Mrs. Patel, posted every financial decision publicly. No more midnight raids. No more clipboards of terror. I still have the AquaGuard. Now it logs happy kids splashing instead of paranoid presidents. Sometimes at night I sit on the deck, watch the silver panels gleam under the stars, and smile. The same technology Melinda feared became the thing that freed the neighborhood. Funny how that works. So here's the question I want you to answer honestly in the comments. When a homeowner installs legal safety equipment on their own property, who's really invading privacy? The guy protecting his pool or the HOA president breaking into it at 2 a.m. while stealing from the community fund? Drop your story below. Tell me where you're watching from. Because the next Karen might be coming for your fence, your flowers, or your freedom. And the only thing standing between you and her clipboard might be the truth catching her in 4K.